100 days in hardcore Minecraft. That's 33 hours if you don't sleep, and around 17 if you sleep every night. Either way, it's a long time. When you add in the fact that you only get one life, dying really is not an option. That's why I have decided to put together a list of tips, tricks, and strategies to help you not only survive your first 100 days of hardcore Minecraft, but kill the Ender Dragon, Wither, and defeat a raid before the challenge ends. Before we get into the video, I would like to say that we are getting closer and closer to 100,000 subscribers, so if you could go down below and hit that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. While you're down there, maybe like the video as well. With that out of the way, let's get straight into the video. So, Day 1, you've just spawned into the world. The first thing that you're going to want to do is mine a tree and use the wood to craft a wooden pickaxe. With this wooden pickaxe, you can mine some stone and immediately craft a set of stone tools. The first day should be spent exploring the area near your spawn point and gathering a few resources such as extra wood, food, and if it's easily accessible, a bit of iron and coal. Hopefully, the exploring and hunting has given you enough wool to craft a bed, but if you don't have enough, making a small base underground for shelter is fine as well. During the next few days, I would recommend getting a decent amount of food and mining any iron that you come across. Don't go too deep into the caves yet, as it is super easy to die when you don't have any armor. The first pieces of iron that you get should be crafted into a shield or bucket. Both of these items are cheap to make and can save you in a pinch. With the added protection, you can now go deeper into the caves and mine more iron. Don't craft any iron tools other than an iron pickaxe until you have a full set of iron armor, as you don't need them as much. Once your gear is sorted out, continue exploring the area and try to find a village. Villager trading is one of the most overpowered features in Minecraft, and having a place to stay early game is super important. However, try not to go too far away from your spawn, as you may need to use it in the future. If you have followed along this far, you should now be fully equipped in iron armor, have mostly iron tools, and be in a village close to your spawn. Right now, you do not have the resources to protect the villagers, so I would recommend ringing the village bell and trapping them in their houses for future trading. One of the most important parts of surviving 100 days is to have a consistent, good food source that will supply you throughout most of the challenge. In my opinion, the best food in the game is steak, and surprisingly, it's super easy to get. All you need to do is make one of these cow crushers, and voila, infinite food. The farm does take a little while to start producing, but it's definitely worth it in the long run. During the period where the cow crusher is not working, spend some time making a crop farm to supply you with wheat to breed the cows. To prepare for an enchanting setup, make a sugarcane farm which will grow while you are in the area. You should also create a mine down at Y12 where you can gather useful resources such as redstone, lapis, and, of course, diamonds. If you find a spawner while mining, make sure to write down the coordinates so you can make a XP farm later on. The early game of Minecraft can be very grindy, so feel free to take breaks and go exploring, find pets, or try some of the new game features. Hopefully you have managed to find a few diamonds from the mining. Before you go and spend them on a sword or a piece of armor, make sure to craft a diamond pickaxe so that you can mine the obsidian needed for an enchanting table and nether portal. If you are confident in your ability to survive, feel free to use the rest of your diamonds for tools, otherwise I would recommend making armor for protection. While all this has been going on, you should also have been breeding the cows and harvesting your farms. This means that you should either be fairly close to building a max enchanting setup, or already have the materials to make one. You can also go adventuring and manually gather the rest of the stuff you need. Okay, so you have the enchanting setup, but you still need the levels. Don't worry, I have 2, or depending on your situation, 3 methods for you to get a bunch of XP. The first of these methods is to make a mob spawner farm. You may have found one of these while mining, and it's super easy to set up a farm for them. The second method is to travel into the nether and mine quartz. This can be dangerous, but if you bring a gold helmet and don't do anything risky, you'll make it out alive. Feel free to take a look around for a fortress while you're at it. The third and arguably best method is to trade with your villagers. My recommendation is to trade sticks with a Fletcher, as wood is easy to collect. A bonus to villager trading is that you can use your emeralds to buy things from other villagers. For example, at the master level, the armorer will trade diamond armor for 10 to 40 emeralds. Leveling up requires more and more experience the higher the level, so make sure to enchant a piece of gear as soon as you get to level 30. Now that you have a set of decent gear, it's time to find a nether fortress and collect your blaze rods. I don't have many good tips for finding the actual fortress. I would recommend watching a speedrunning video for that. But I do suggest that you travel in a fairly straight line while searching, and if you are using Optifine, turn off the fog and raise your render distance. Once you get into the fortress, make sure to take your time and place barriers to block wither skeletons. Blazes can do a lot of damage very quickly, so be careful when fighting them. Make sure to collect enough blaze rods to not only make your Eyes of Enders, but also brew a few potions. At this point in the challenge, you have officially crossed the line between early game and mid game. This means that it is time for you to start building your base. If you have been living in a village so far, consider transforming it to be your base. You can also move away from the village and set up a whole new base. It's completely up to you. My only recommendation is that you build some sort of wall around your area to keep the mobs out. To make things even safer, you can also light up the area so that nothing can spawn inside. While working on your base, make sure to continue gathering XP and upgrading your gear as you are going to need it in the future. 100 days is a long time, so if you feel yourself becoming burnt out, change things up and work on a new project. These next 4 days are going to be spent doing two things: preparing for the Ender Dragon fight, and finding the stronghold. To start off, craft an ender chest with 8 obsidian and an Eye of Ender. You can use one of these to store extra gear. However, you are going to need a Silk Touch pickaxe to mine it. In terms of potions, I recommend bringing Slow Falling and Strength. You can also bring a few instant health potions if you want. Make sure to bring lots of arrows if you do not have an infinity bow. If you do, well, good for you. Of course, don't forget your usual supplies such as blocks and food. These next few items are only needed if you plan on going end city raiding after the fight. Bring extra blocks to bridge between end islands, gunpowder and paper to craft fireworks, and a Mending Unbreaking 3 book to enchant your elytra if you have one. With all of your gear ready, it's time to find the stronghold. Try not to throw too many Eyes of Enders to reduce the chances of breaking them. Once you get to the stronghold, set up a nether portal and connect it to your home one for easier travel. The only advice that I have for the Ender Dragon fight is to use your potions and stay away from the dragon's breath. If you do those two things, you've pretty much already won. Remember to repair your tools with the XP you get from the dragon if you have mending on them. If you don't have mending, that's fine, you still get a ton of levels. For many people, this is the end of the challenge. However, don't stop just yet because there is a lot more for you to do. The first item on our list of things to do is getting an elytra and a bunch of shulker boxes. After jumping through the end gateway, make sure to crank your render distance up and be ready to bridge because finding a city can take a while. Be careful, as the void is the most dangerous thing in Minecraft, and once you fall in, it's game over. Killing the dragon and going end raiding can be pretty stressful, so I personally like to take some time to do a building project or go on an adventure before killing the wither. If you're more of a redstone player, feel free to make a contraption or farm as well. The next 10 days are going to be spent preparing for the wither fight. Most people consider it to be the hardest boss fight in Minecraft, so being prepared and ready is very important. Before going to the nether to hunt wither skeletons for skulls, make sure you have a sword with looting 3, as there's only around a 3% drop chance without it. I recommend bringing a few fire resistance potions in case you fall in lava or get attacked by blazes. Try to find a nether fortress located within a soul sand valley. Because of the way mob spawns work in soul sand valleys, a ton of fortress mobs spawn, which can help you get your skulls faster. Similar to the dragon fight, make sure to brew some potions to help you defeat the wither. I find that strength, speed, and instant health are all super useful. Also make sure to bring milk buckets with you to get rid of the wither effect. There are plenty of different ways to fight the wither, but if this is your first time, doing the battle in an underground tunnel is the best way to go. You could also cheese the wither by killing it under the end return portal, but that's no fun. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail on how to do this attack strategy, but essentially, you want to dig a long 1x2 tunnel and summon the wither at the end of it. From there, you just slowly back up while shooting the wither, and when it gets to its second phase, go in with your sword and strength 2 to finish it off. You are now in the home stretch of your 100 days challenge. All that's left to do now is defeat a raid. If you built your base in a village, you should hopefully already have a wall surrounding it. If not, find the nearest village and wall it off. Make sure that you have a vantage point to snipe the pillagers from when the raid starts. Some of the mobs hit really hard, so a bow is going to be your best friend. The potions that you use are up to you, but I would definitely recommend having some regeneration or instant health to heal you up when you get close to dying. The last thing that you're going to want to do is lock your villagers up in their houses so that they aren't killed by the pillagers. To start the raid, all you need to do is find the nearest pillager outpost and kill one of the banner pillagers. Then it's just a matter of entering the village and letting the bad omen do its thing. Remember, a bow is your friend. Don't go down and melee the pillagers unless you know that you are safe. As soon as you defeat your first evoker, go down and collect the totem of undying that it drops. Immediately put it in your offhand, as it will resurrect you from death one time. Be careful of the Vexes though, they can pack a pretty big punch. At this point, you have pretty much finished the challenge. Take some time to relax, maybe build something, tame a few more pets, or just enjoy yourself. If, for some reason, you feel like risking your life even more, maybe go and raid an ocean monument. They are not super difficult, but definitely not a walk in the park either. You've done it! You have survived 100 days in hardcore Minecraft. Congratulations! While this can be the end of your journey, there is also so much more to do in the game. Consider surviving another 100 days, or heck, even try to survive 1000 days. It's completely up to you. However, this video is only about surviving 100 days of Minecraft, so if you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like and subscribing, but other than that, this has been GlitchNOut. Goodbye everyone!